we got the Clifton laying here at the local shop where we all come to. So, we're doing this deck profile for many events, but the most recent ones were what?
I got top 16 at YCS Richmond, and then I got third place at the Kentucky Regional 2 weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm. And it's basically the same list, right?
Yeah, I played the same list for both of them. I was too lazy to change it, even the sleeves.
He said, throw them in there. Still good. We'll still play. All right, let's go and get right into it.
All right, so your standard Purrely stuff, 3 of each cat. You gotta play all the spells. All this is pretty much mandatory. There used to be a lot of debate about the field spell and stuff, where if you could play like 1 or 2. Some people were playing like Rainbow Bridge to search it and stuff, but it has to be a 3 now because of Rescue Ace. If you activate this card, it pretty much just ends the game. All of our cards target, so really good going first to protect from Empire and Veiler and stuff like that, and then going second, it's just an auto win against Rescue Ace. You need the 3 to be able to reveal it off my friend if you don't open it. So yeah, none of the Purrely stuff changes. For the weird non-engine stuff, I played 3 Clips and 3 Fenrir. It's just the best standalone monster at a blast pressure, and so it's good going first or second, and it just gives you, searches itself, so it gives you the free discard for one of the Purrely spells. And then Book of Eclipse, it's good offensive or defensive. A lot of times, whenever I was playing, even if I ended on like Noir and had like a hand trap or 2, sometimes the powerful decks can still just kill you. Like Mannadium, Dragon Link, even Rescue Ace, like if their hand was good enough, you know, stuff like that. They could just Unchain too. They could just kill you through like a 2 or 3 spin Noir. So a lot of times I was dying, so I just needed more blowout cards that I could set going first. And then even though if your opponent draws a couple cards during the end phase, Purrely's like backswing is super strong. You can just suck up their cards, make a huge Noir, and then if it's unaffected, you know, most decks just can't beat it. So this was like a really good card to even to make a 2 material or 4 material Noir and set this. Most of the time you would live to the next turn, and that's kind of what I wanted. It's also really good going second. You can like, it's really good in the mirror. You just clean up like weird cards. It baits out a negate every single time, so against like Mannadium and stuff, it forces Baron. It's really good against Tier. Flips down all their stuff so they can't activate Solic and things like that. It's just another out to Unchained too. The Caesar guy is like the main problem, so you don't really care about the other Unchained monsters. As long as you activate this and you can set the Caesar, Street, and like your other Purrely engine can usually beat the rest of their board. So it's just everything I wanted in the card. It baits Ash too, so sometimes if you just like slam it and they're like forced to Ash it, hopefully you have enough like Purrely spells that won't get Ash to push their board. And then the best part about the deck is how flexible it is. You can just play so many hand traps. So I just played like 3 of all the good ones. These are like the most standard, I would say. Definitely Impermanent Ash. Just good going first, good going second. This is like the best card to draw off of Noir and stuff. So you just want as many live cards to draw off on Noir as possible. And then Nib and Droll were kind of like the calls for the event. It kind of just fits with the theme of like Book of Eclipse. You just don't want to die. So
you got to push into the Nib if you want to kill me.
Yeah. So, and that's like the best thing. Like if you can use the Noir to like weaken their board a little bit, and then they're like overcommit into trying to kill you, and then you catch them with a Nib, even though it clears your field and doesn't trigger like your street and stuff, you can give them the token. You can link this off next turn for like an SP or something, and then you can always suck up their token with Anima. So you never have a problem with dealing with any of the cards. And then, yeah, same as Droll. It's just the most impactful hand trap whenever it does resolve. It's really weird against, you know, decks like Unchained and stuff like that. But it's not that good against Rescue Ace either, but it's very good in the mirror. And just a blowout card really helps you not die.
Yeah, well-timed Droll can skip a turn sometimes.
So that's the full main deck. Extra deck, most of it's pretty standard. You know, your 2 Beauty, the 1 of each, 2 Happy, 2 Noir. None of this should really change. The OCG plays like this, and they usually cut down on one of these, but it's because they only have Sleeping Memory at 1, so they have to play 3 Yeep in order to search it off of like Lily and stuff, so they can cut down on like ratios and like this because they have 3 Yeep just to put all their stuff. But since we're only playing 1 Yeep, I think all of this is fine. If you were to cut one, it'd probably be Happiness. This is like the better grind game card. Most of the time you only need 1 of this to like either go for a game, or the one time you make this to attack into a defense position monster and get a bunch of cards, you only need to do that once before you make a huge Noir that usually seals the game. And then Slacker, Downer, Zeus, and Typhon for the Xyz. This is the only card I didn't make at Richmond. I made it once at the regional. It's very good. Zeus is very good against Purrely because all the Purrely cards require pretty much like 2 cards to do something. So if you have to activate a spell and discard a card and then summon out the Lily just for it to get Zeus, it feels really bad. So Zeus is really good against Purrely. So that way, if you can like start your turn, just normal summon the cat, maybe get some advantage, and then slap a Typhon over it. That way you can deal with the Zeus, and you have a hand trap, so hopefully you can like deal with it later. It's really, really good. A lot of people cut the slacker for stuff like ensemble and things like that, but I think Little Knight is just kind of like the other inboard piece. Like a lot of people are trying to end on like the Noir and then the other rank one. Well, I would just always end on Little Knights and then the Noir, and then I just kind of use this as like, it's good in the mirror because it, most of the cards on Purrely target and stuff like that. So if you can make Zeus in the mirror, it's super good. And just being able to like use 2 cats to, just the threat of this always being here to make Zeus is really good.
People don't know about that secret effect. If you target me, I destroy your card.
Yeah. And then the Link monsters, these 2 were standard. Anima's just broken. We tried out Link Karibo for a long time because of Little Knight. This card's just amazing. But the reason we tried out Link Karibo is because it always can give you a monster, like a Link monster, to turn on Little Knight. So if you had like a random cat, you could just like link it away and make a Link Karibo. Maybe it helps you not die. And then once the Link Karibo's in grave, you can always just summon Little Knight basically whenever for the rest of the game, and it'll always be summoned by a Link monster. Because like if you have a cat, you know, you contribute the cat for the Link Karibo from the graveyard, and then the Link Karibo and whatever else can make Little Knight, so you can always banish that. That way you didn't have to just waste an anima, you know? Because there are a lot of times where I'm literally just have like 2 cats on field, and I link one away for anima. The anima's not going to do anything, but I just need the body to make this bane or something. Yeah. So we tried Link Karibo for a little bit. Helps dodge impermanent stuff too. If it's already in the grave, summon a cat. The impermanent, you can chain Link Karibo, tribute the cat, summon Link Karibo. It was all right, but this card just still so many people play into it. So and sometimes you can kind of like pressure them to play into it, especially with like Nib, you know, putting the token there and stuff. Yeah, and like a lot of cards just point to you, you know, like Unchained Soul of Rage, the Unchained Link
summon
too.
Right to it, like.
Yeah, you just summon Link to it, and it's like it's probably not going to resolve. You know, they're just going to link it off, but just to be able to like get a negation out of the way is very good. And then yeah, Little Knight's just absolutely insane. And then I guess the weird card was Dark, but I feel like it's becoming like more and more popular. You play Purrely, which is a Dark, and then worst case, if you just have 2 Purrelys, so you can make one of the Purrelys into Anima or Link Karibo, and that's the Dark you need for Dark. It can just take random cool stuff out of your graveyard. In the mirror, it can take like Purrely.
You take it back, use the effect like it.
Yeah, you can take Purrely. You could take an SP out of your opponent's graveyard, which is super nice because then you can start using it against them. You can take against Unchained. You can take their Unchained Soul of Rage to link to, and just put it under it, and then that way you can use that as an interruption on your opponent's turn to link that off an opponent's card, and then make SP, and then SP banish another card. So there's a lot of use. There was even a time where I summoned it once because my friend got ashed, and then I just made this with 2 random cats, and then bumped into a guy, and then searched Purrely, and then normal summon Purrely, and kind of played it in my face too. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, so true.
But yeah, the extra deck's like pretty flexible. So, but yeah, I made every single card on my extra deck besides Typhon at Richmond, and then I made this once, but I still don't think I cut it. It's just such good and
it's like a utility card too.
It's so good in a simplified game state, and Purrely struggles when you don't have a lot of cards. So sometimes you just need this to like buy you a turn or 2.
That happened to me.
Yeah.
House Dragoons.
3 Crow, 3 Druid's Worm. Both these are just really good against Tier. This is more for, so Tier is like the overlap, I guess. And then this is really good against Unchained because you don't really care about the graveyard, but it's really hard for them to deal with this card without it resolving to send a card. So just being able to send Caesar from their graveyard, which is the main problem against, problem card against Purrely, is super good. And then this card is really good for the mirror match. Just being able to crow the Purrely spells out of the graveyard is super nice. It just burns the Lily and stuff like that. And you need interaction like that in the mirror because a lot of times they're just going to slam Purrely Street, and then none of their cards can be targeted. So you can't spin any of their cats with Noir. You can't negate anything with Beauty. You can't imperm stuff, you know, like that. So sometimes you just have to waste a Noir spin on the Purrely spell, the field spell. But if you have something like Crow or Ash, then you can like hold it back a little bit more. So yeah, Crow being able to do that in the mirror is super nice. And it's just a fantastic card to draw off of Noir in the standby phase. So both of these are really good. Wouldn't change either of these. The weird card in my side deck was Lava Golem. This deck doesn't have to normal summon. I mean, you can play like, what, 10 emergency teleports in your deck?
You literally don't need a normal summon?
Yeah, so you don't have to normal summon. So this card just helps clean up the like crazy boards. Testing against Austin playing Manadium.
I need to link the clip that you did.
What?
Where
Joe?
Yeah, that's where you did Joe wrong. Oh my god, that's so bad.
Yeah, just being able to clear 2 problem cards is really good. And it's also another card, kind of like Nib, where you can control what the card goes. So you can just tribute 2 cards, put it in an Anima Zone, and suck it up later and do something. So it's really good against the powerhouse decks, mainly like Tier and Manadium. Just tributing like Kaleido Heart and a Baron, or like Kaleido Heart and an SP or a Little Knight or something. to turn all their stuff off is super good. Vanadium, they're not like FTKing you or anything. Most people have switched away from Calamity. They're just making crazy boards with like Dissipator, Baron, and stuff. So you can just slam this on top of 2 monsters and then Purrely come over there, usually in there. It was really, really good against Unchained, but they have started switching up their board. Most of the time they don't end on the Link 2 and Caesar anymore. They just end on Caesar and the Trap. And that's really good to play around Lava Golem. So that kind of like wasn't as good. But yeah, it's still worth it. This is probably like the only card that I would consider changing. Everything else on the side was pretty good. But yeah, overall this is really, really good. And nobody sees it coming, so.
Even Joel didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, I watched this feature match.
Back row hate, Featherstorm, 2 Duster. Just good against generic stuff, you know, lab, arena back row decks. It's pretty good in the mirror because people side in summon limit, you know, clearing like the street. My friend is important. That way, whenever you kill our guys, they don't get cards back. But good against rescue ace too. Just blow up all of their spells and traps. If you don't have street, it kind of just like acts as like extra version of the street. As long as you can clear up like the turb set 4, it's pretty good. Purrely is just really good in a simplified game state. So once you like get a couple pluses off this and you make a Noir or even a Zeus or something, then yeah, once you have control of the game, you win. And then the last card was just the God card. I mean, summon limit. I can't believe they made this card in the QCR, in the rarity collection. These are super, super hot. And they're pretty cheap too. So, yeah, I'm really glad this card got an upgrade. But this card should probably be banned or limited in some sort of way.
The fact that it counts to summon while it's face down is just a whole nother
Yeah,
thing.
it's broken. And it's extra good in Purrely because most of the time you only summon twice. You just need the cat and then whatever XYZ monster you rake up into the cat. And with Beauty or any monster that has the pretty memory after it, if you have to commit later, you can just keep the summon limit and then make your like play into the Beauty and then equip it with, or whatever monster, and then equip it with a pretty memory, and then you send this to the graveyard or second opponent's card, and then you can play from there. So yeah, super, super, super good. The only weird card I didn't play in my deck that most people play is Prosperity. That card has just always been bad for me. Droll just murders this deck if it hit in the right time. Like, you want to try to play in the draw phase if you can, but if you play in the draw phase, you can get blown out by like an Emperor on the Purrely, and it sounds crazy, but sometimes it just ends your turn. So a lot of times you really want to be able to enter the main phase and then play Street and then summon like your Purrely, or you want to enter the main phase and then summon your Fenrir and then summon like your Purrely or something. So yeah, I didn't play Prosperity just because you can't start with Prosperity. If you do, you get rolled and you lose. Or if you like Fenrir or summon your like Purrely and then you add your like whatever, and if you get drolled, you know, you can't do your My Friend, which sucks, but if you also have Prosperity, you can't do that either.
Yeah, so you got 2 cards in your hand and they can't do anything right.
Yeah, so I just cut the Prosperities and they pretty much became like Book of Eclipses. But Prosperity is good. It helps you dig for power cards like this, and like going second helps you dig for like blowouts and stuff. So I understand why it's good, but I think that's the weird card that I cut and everybody's like, oh, how'd you get rid of that? But yeah, I didn't miss Prosperity at all. I don't think I need it. Except in my top 16 feature match, I pretty much braked all 3 games. So I wish I had it then, but.
So true. Let me dig a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to Tyler, the Dual Cipher. Sorry, this profile's a little bit late. We've been super busy with everything. Shout out to Studs group chat through the decades.
Studs.
The store that we're in and everything. If you guys are close to Kentucky, definitely stop by and say hey to all of us. I work here, so come get some cards. Shout out to Top Choice Gaming and everybody on my team. And yeah, I think that's it.
And come Duelist Man and Iron Man too.
Yes.
Mondays. Come on through. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, every Monday night, Iron Man's here through the decades, so make sure you guys are tuning into the stream.
Like a spider